What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? As you can see, I got my hands rubbing together, baby. We in what we call the party lounge, better known as the party line, ladies and gentlemen. Hey man, you already know what to do. Click that like and subscribe button for us. We're gonna go ahead and get to it, man. It's time to celebrate, baby. Let's get to it, dog. These Falcons went ahead and took care of them stinking ass Saints, better known as the Aints. But hey, I don't want no gumbo today. I got peach cobbler, so I'm staying with them Georgia peaches, baby. Brown sugar, no saltine in these things. Huh? So let's go ahead and get this thing started, baby. We on one. Let's go.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
BirdCage.
Yeah, shawty, we go ahead and did our thing today. I'm a little under the weather, but you know what? This right here made me feel a hell of a lot better. That's how you handle business, baby. It was a clean sweep in the state of Georgia this weekend. You had the dogs to take care of business, which they should have. Then you had the Hawks to win it last night. And then you had these dirty birds to take out these stinking, filthy New Orleans Saints, man. I got to bring my panel up in this thing here, man. And then we're going to open this up to everybody to come through. The links are posted. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and click the link that we have so you can get the permission from Facebook so StreamYard can see your comments. So let's go ahead and add K Dub to the stage, and then we got Graybeard we add to the stage, man. What's going on, fella?
What it is, Birdcage family, listeners and subscribers, great to be in the building to talk about something positive for a change. We do lead the division. Division is in our hands. All we got to do is continue to beat all our division foes down the road, and we're in the playoffs. So I'm glad to be in the building today. I want to hear from all the listeners, subscribers, and followers out there because we talk so much throughout the week and throughout the season that I want to just get the pulse of the fan base. We had some turnovers, but we was able to get out of our own way, not overthink on every drive. Our quarterback did remember he had legs. I think the benching was like a dose, a shot in the arm of some good medicine that he needed, and to be able to see the field from sitting on the bench. And our coach called. He did get cute on one play, but it actually worked this time. So I'll give him kudos for that because a lot of times he called these cute plays. It doesn't work, and it doesn't go in our favor. But it looked like almost like a wheel route by Bijan was excellent. It was great, and it was just good to see, man. I'm just happy for the Falcons, happy for the city of Atlanta. We showed up and showed out and did what we had to do today. And the game ball goes to Bankhead Bates. I wish he would have did a little Bankhead when he got in there and scored the touchdown. But I mean, he's big time. That money that we paid in the off season to improve that defense was well worth it. and we're starting to see the fruits of our results of the money we put in on that defense. And if we can play this way going forward and continue to run the football like we were doing today, and changing that three-head monster with some we was running with Bijan, some we running with Algier, some we running with CP. I think that's our recipe for success going forward. Limiting the passes that Desmond Ritter throws, playing excellent defense, and not letting people get behind us. But I'm not going to share and hold the stage up too long. I know people got things they want to say. People want to, put their 2 cents in and say they soliloquy. So I'm gonna step out the way. That was just catered of basically a little thought process of what happened today. I'm just happy that we got it done, man.
So instead of with us having the collection plate and prayers going out right now, you literally just stood on the stage and became DJ Hershey, baby. You know what I'm talking about? Became
Yeah.
DJ Smurf for a minute. Hey, we gonna shout. Hey, we went classic today, man. It's hip hop 50th anniversary, but man, we shouting out all the legends of the ATL, man. You already know. Everybody know the commercial cats, man. I'm gonna shout out some of the cats that don't nobody talk about that we grew up on. You got MC Shy D, you got Hitman Sammy Sam, you got Baby
Ooh,
D. You know what I'm talking about? You
You got
got
Baby
you got
D.
Loco,
you
you
got
got
Raheem
Ghetto.
the Dream.
Yeah, I was about to say him next. You got, think about it, and you also got Ghetto Mafia. You know what I'm talking about? You
Yeah,
know,
for sure,
and,
man.
and it's just one of them things, dog. When you talk about the old school legends that put Atlanta on the map, when Jokers was laughing at the city, you know what I'm saying all we make is booty shaped music, but things change. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
And
for sure,
looking
man.
back at it now, man,
Already.
it's one of them things, bro. And it's just a beautiful thing to see the city just go ahead and get this dub. I had to go a little 80s today, bucket cap or whatever, 80s, and then I went 90s like Biggie said, I got the lumberjack with the hat to match, so you already know what's happening. But
Already, man. Already.
I gotta let my man Great Beard jump in here and talk a little trash, man. What you got for us today?
Boy, victory just sounds so much better than losing. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I don't know about
Party
the rest.
line.
I don't know about the
It's
rest
just
of
good to have a
y'all.
party line, man.
Hey
Party
man,
line.
hey man, it's good to see everybody. I hope everybody had a gracious holiday or whatever, man. But what better
No,
way
for
to
sure.
end the week than a Falcon victory? Man, it just felt so good, man. Just getting back to what we do best and getting back to our identity of Atlanta Falcon football, which is run the freaking rock. And you've seen that. You've seen that in the second half. We established it. You've seen Desmond Ritter. Yes, he had some turnover, but I like the way he bounced back. He didn't let that get the best of him. He still went out there and played ball.
This is
I like the way he felt more comfortable in the
what it
offense. He
is.
felt more confident in the offense. And you seen what he, like K Dub always said, he remembered he'd had legs. Two of them things to be exact. So man, I'm just so glad that we got this victory. I'm so glad that the Ain't can go home with this nice, beautiful L that they can always have, man. I'm just so happy for the city, man. We just need to build on it. One
Hey
win.
man,
We got
won't do
six more to go.
Hey man, we won't do this too often, but we won't get out here shouting out zones. But hey man, since it's classic Atlanta right now, you know what I'm talking about. Hey man, been here, been real. You already know what time it is, man. Shout out to them boys over there in zone 4, man. You know what's happening, baby. And
Oh,
I gotta kick that over to K Dub, man. We gotta shout
Man,
out Atlanta today, baby.
just
What you got?
just shout out to the whole city, man. All zones, you know what I'm saying? Zone one, you know what I'm saying? The zone city, all the zones, man. Shout out to the whole city, north side, east side, west side. Man, they showed up, they was live enough, man. We had folks geeking and stuff in the building. Shout out, shout out, hey, look, I mean, hey man, it was
He was
live.
rag topping the hell out of it, bro. You saw that?
boy,
Hey,
yeah, he
hey,
was.
look,
He
y'all seen
was.
what I see, y'all seen what I seen. So I mean, I'm just happy for the city. Shout out to the birthday girl Bree was in the building for her
Always.
birthday. So yeah, shout out
What's
to
going
her
on,
too
man?
out there. So
Happy birthday,
good to
Bree.
see everybody, man. It's just good to see everybody in a smiling, happy mood, man. We had a nice little long losing streak. Just to get back on the winning side of football, man. Just to be able to go to work with a smile on your face, like man, we running the bit. I don't care if we do got a losing record.
Man.
Hey man, it's tough out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? It's tough in this league.
Hey, we
So
beat the Saints. That's all that
yeah,
matter, bro. We beat
that's
the
it.
Saints.
That's
That was
it,
the
I
whole
man.
mean,
thing. I said like this here. Any
yeah,
game, you don't want to lose no games. But I said, look, I don't want us to have a bad season. But here's the thing: if you can beat the Saints 2 times out of the year, That's a Super Bowl in itself. But
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
said, speaking of Super Bowls, I'm gonna go ahead and get to this analogy before I let William see. See, that is what we should have done in 2016 in that Super Bowl.
Stop bringing
If
it
you
up.
Run the
saw it,
ball.
you run it 3 times and then you let your field goal kicker win it. That's how you supposed to do it, man. What you
Stop
got, William? What's
bringing it
happening, buddy?
up.
Hey, what's going on? The history. What's going on, K Dog? What's going on, Great Beard, man?
What it
So
I
is,
man,
said
huh?
this, man.
so
I said this when you feed CP Cordell Patterson, man. The dude had identity, man. That's what we need, man. Around December of the year, we gotta keep team running the ball. I understand Ritter threw some interceptions that happened, but Van Jefferson, I need you to finish your routes because that was on you. He came back on
Mm,
our out what he I think he supposed to do a comeback route. He let
yeah,
Yep.
Tyrann Matthew cut him out that route. But anyway, man, oh man, I'm proud of the defense. JC Bates, one interception, two forced one fumble recovery. JC Bates was playing his head on fire, man. Salute Bankhead Bates, man. When we
I,
need him the most, he identity for our defense, man. But
I gotta stop you on that, William. Hold up, dog. Now normally I let you ride on that, but that was not on Jefferson, and I'm one of the hardest ones on Gator football players. I can't stand him. You know what
oh,
I'm
that
talking
wasn't no
about?
Jefferson. That
That,
was on
no,
Ritter.
that was a back shoulder fade that was thrown. That should have been thrown a little bit better. That was on
Okay,
Ritter. That wasn't on
okay,
Jefferson. Jefferson ran the right route. And while
okay.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and keep cooking, but we gotta welcome our first timer who jumped out of the cage on us last time. We got charisma behind the
Hmm.
stage. We're gonna let you jump in, but I gotta let my man William finish, and I'm gonna give you the proper introduction so you can cook for a sec. So what you got? What else you got for us, William?
Man, moving forward, man, I know we want to win these six games left. We could, but moving forward, I think we should run the ball with Tyler and CP. Let the running game speak for itself. Cause December, you got to play your best football. So we got to keep doing what we was doing today, fellas. And the division is up for grabs for us, man. We 3-0, so we continue to play like that. We be hard to beat.
Yes, sir. So welcome to the cage, charisma. What's going on, family? What's happening?
What's up, man? Nothing much, bro. Just finished a little game. I like the setup we had today. Like Ritter was in the zone. He was looked like he was in the zone this time. Either
Mm-hmm.
either the Saints was lacking or we was in the zone. They was lacking on some type of callings, offensive callings. Um, they defense was lacking too. I don't know, but we slid that one in. We did good.
So here's the thing, man. I think that's your phone, bro.
Me?
It's kind of
Yeah,
an echo coming in.
my bad. I
Yeah.
step out. I'll let y'all talk.
Oh no, it's cool.
All right, we'll
But
bring William back. So I say this, man. When you talk about their defense or whatever, their defense held us to 2 touchdowns. Let's keep that a book. They held us to 2 touchdowns. Our defense, Jesse Bates, we call him Bankhead Bates on the show. You know what I'm saying? He started the party. You know what I'm talking about? I know you from over there at Bankhead, cuz you know what I'm talking about. But hey, we gave him that moniker because you come in with $64 million and you bring a swagger and an attitude that come with it, dog. It's only right. It's only right. So you know what I'm saying. So for Bankhead Bates to come in, he started the party with the pick six early. He started that party. Offense was stalling as bad as a '78 Chevy Chevelle sitting on the hill. You know what I'm saying, with a rotted battery. That was how bad it was.
Oh
But
man.
once he got that thing cooking, bro, the offense decided to start rolling. You started seeing a lot more runs in this game with the play calling. You started seeing stuff mixed up. You saw Drake London and Kyle Pitts eating a lot today.
mm.
That was something that we haven't seen in a while
and it
because of the inconsistencies.
and it seemed like me that Ritter was more calm in the pocket too today.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
He didn't seem he threw that pick six. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. He kind of he tried to slip in. I know what he was trying to do, but he had more time today. I give him that. I'm like I say, either New Orleans was lacking in something or they were just having a good day today. Because usually they be on our ass.
I mean, we had a lot of things go in our favor. They had a lot of
Mm-hmm.
injuries. The person that was really killing us got hurt. Lavier went in with the concussion, which really, really helped us because he was burning us all day on the back end.
Hmm.
But I mean, this is a league where it's a tough league. I mean, things are going to happen your way sometimes to help you, and sometimes it can hurt you because you could have had those injuries. I mean, so I'm not going to be I'm not going to be like all in arms with anything like that because, like I say, a win is a win in this league. I don't care who went down or what happened. We just got it done. That's the way. That's the way you got to do it sometimes in this league. Get it done by however means necessary. If it's a field goal or you blow them out. I mean, just a win is a win. Now we move on to the next week and continue to try to do the same things, but get back to our identity, which is we are healthy now. Run those running
Mhm.
backs like you ran them this particular week, and have a heavy rotation of backs. I mean, they're all healthy. I think that whatever percentage we ran them today will be basically antidote to what we need to do going forward. We just continue to need to roll those guys out there, limit the throws that Desmond has to make, and basically keep using his legs. You know, that's another runner of the football that you have when you do use his legs in the proper way. I just feel like we have our identity now. We just have to stick to it and try his best. You know, not to get cute. I know he's gonna try. He did it twice today. One time he was right, and the other time he was wrong. But we got to get our coach to just try to just call it the way it's supposed to be called, and not start overthinking. But he did a pretty good job there. I don't want to really harp on him like we have been because he did get a win today. So I'm gonna leave him off the file today. But next week you might be right back on that
Oh,
stove
bump
and that
that.
burner.
No, bump that. He's still on
Nah,
the
nah,
fire. He's
nah.
still on the
Ain't
fire for
look.
me.
See you being nice about it, bro. Ain't nobody. I'm
No,
not.
no, no,
Here's
no,
my
no, no,
thing.
no.
I
I'm
never
not
said it.
tearing down.
I never said the heat was not on. I said I'm not gonna get on him today, but I
Oh no,
said he's
you're on.
still
I
on the
heard you
hot
say.
seat. He's
Oh no,
still on
here's
the
my
damn
thing.
hot seat, get fired
I'm
seat,
with,
man.
I'm
I'm
I
with,
just
got
saying.
to.
I'm with my
Here's
man.
my thing. I got to. I got to get on him because it's like, dog, you killed momentum 3 times in this game. When we had a 4th and 2, I get that you were trying to be aggressive. At that point, you should have just took the points right off hand because
Thank you.
again, when you get in the red zone in a rivalry game, we saw this last night with the Georgia Bulldogs. It don't matter. It don't matter. You can throw the records out of the window. You're talking about a rivalry game. You've got to get points every time you get in striking distance. You'd
Georgia
rather
Tech was
have
on him though,
some.
cuzzo. Georgia Tech was on him now.
We're
They
playing
got that.
conservative. We're playing
Again,
conservative.
outside of playing conservative, let's call that for what it was. And also the refs helped out at the end of that game with 2 touchdowns taken out of that. That
She
butt whooping would have been worse. But we ain't gonna talk too heavy about the dogs. But we finna get on these Falcons right now. When we talk about 4th and 2, when you talk about 4th and 2 in field goal range, cool as money. Let him go ahead and keep putting points up because that has been your bell cow during the season while this offense is stalled. Now, offensively, before the half, you should have kept running it. Cordell Patterson was in a groove. Then you had Bijan that was kind of floating in between things. And then
thank
you
you.
also had Tyler Algier who was finishing off runs. Don't take the ball out of the hot hand. You don't do that. That's a no-no. The last thing you need to do before a half in a crucial game like this right now or whatnot, you've got to be able to put your foot on their necks and just step on it with a hobnail boot. That's what you got to do. Period.
We left about 14 points on that field today.
We
I
left
was thinking,
21 on we left 21 on the field today.
yeah, but
Yeah.
We left 21 on the field today, bro.
yeah, but shout out to the defense for not allowing this team to score any touchdowns.
Exactly.
I got to give them props for that. Yes, they broke down in some coverage, and Olave was pretty much was cooking them. But when it push come to shove, when they were getting their red zone, they didn't score. They had to settle for three,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all we can ask for the Denver.
Not to mention Kamara.
Don't bend. Don't yeah. Kamara killing us too. Don't bend. I mean bend, but don't break, man. That's all we ask for the defense, man. The only knack about the defense, man. I wish we can generate just a little bit more pressure and sack the quarterback, man. We really got to dig into that. But further
Who we
than
got?
that, though, yeah, I mean, AK finally woke up, but yeah, but at the end of the day, for me, I just think the defense did their job. Not only did they call turnover, we scored off a turnover, and they held the team with no touchdown. That's all you can ask for a defense.
So who do we have
Yeah.
next week?
We got the New York Jets next week.
Hey,
Oh, that's a
we
win.
In New York.
we better
So
win.
they'll be
No,
up
we
here and
better
it's gonna
win.
be
Money. That's
cold
a win.
and we're gonna
We
see how they
better
play.
win.
That's
We
a
better
straight up.
win.
No,
We
here's the
better.
thing. Well, here's the thing. We have to make sure that ground game, when it's flowing, you don't stop it.
We better.
Especially when you talk about, here's the thing, especially when you talk about being in the cold. The two things that travel in bad weather is a run game and a defense.
Right.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. In the elements, hopefully it's not slushy and nasty. Hopefully it's clear so Ritter can throw. But my thing is this: it's like, hey, you got a hell of a running game. You got a three-headed monster. Ritter remembered he had legs today. He remembered he had legs today.
He didn't
And
think.
yeah, that 4.4,
This
you
this
saw
gonna be
that
separate.
4.4 speed pay off. Ritter runs a 4.4. My thing is this. One thing that you should understand: if you're not comfortable with your offense, do what got you there. Run. Run away. Use your legs. Get away from pressure. Get away from you're talking about defensive lineman like Cam. Cam Jordan only had his name called one time today. I don't know if y'all paid attention
Beautiful.
to that.
Yes, I did. Beautiful. Beautiful. I
Yep,
did.
yep.
When they and here's the question I have for y'all. Now we were talking about Cam Jordan and everything else that comes with it or whatnot. They stifled Cam. It pissed him off today. If
Oh
y'all
yeah.
noticed,
Oh yeah.
very frustrated. And they were starting to take cheap shots. Think about it. At the end of the game, when Ritter had his run, if you notice, Jason Pierre-Paul, it wasn't just a normal sack. He literally kind of flopped on him, and the ref didn't call anything. So in a rivalry game like this, it's gonna be a little chippy. It's gonna be extra.
I mean, yeah, I expect that from a rivalry game, especially of this magnitude. Cause now it was they was leading the series 54-53, now tied 54-54 apiece. So
Hmm.
I expect this rivalry to continue to stay the way it is. But I just think for Austin Smith, man, you got the formula, you got the blueprint, which you run the football, control the clock, and limit the other team from possessions, man. If he could just stick to that blueprint, we'll be fine. But he needs to stop being trying to be so cute and thinking he Andy Reid 2.0 or freaking Kyle Shanahan 3.0 and try to get creative with the play, man.
This right here.
You got the cheat code and freaking you got the cheat code in Kyle Pick. You got the cheat code in freaking Tyler Algier, like you said it before, which is William Andrews
2.39.
2.0. So I mean, you got the formula, man.
I
Just
owe
go ahead and
you
just follow it.
9 cents. You got it. Appreciate you.
Well, K Dub had to slide out or whatnot. We gonna bring some more folks through or whatnot. We got some, like I said, we definitely got some things coming. But I want to hear this here, William. So I
Yes,
want
sir.
your opinion about this. Now, defensively today, we can't get into many more grudge matches like that and have our defense out for long periods of time like that. You
Hmm.
actually have to get them a rest. Offense
Facts.
has to sustain drives. How do you feel we can sustain drives next week against these Jets coming up? I got my ideas of how, but I want to hear how you feel about it, and I got a question for Charisma next.
Okay. I feel like when this is Jets matchup, I feel like our secondary we got to eliminate the explosive plays. Start the run game early with Bryce. I think they got Bryce Hall as they running back. We got to start the running game,
Break home.
and we have Brees Hall. We got to stop them, and our defense, man. We got to get interceptions, man. I know J.C. Bates playing up, but I feel like AJ Terrell, he did good today a little bit holding Chris Olave, but he still was getting burnt a couple times. But I expect our secondary and our linebackers to step up this game moving forward against the Jets because I know our defense is our identity. By offense, we got to play more better. Our receivers got to running routes, but we got to run the ball, man. We try to run our ball. Keep feeding Tyler Algier, CP. Don't stop what you do. And Arthur Smith stop being cute, like you said, Gray Bear. I'm tired when we get in the goal line situations. We left like at least 14 points on the board. But like
Hmm.
I'm saying, we got to capitalize on our opportunities when we get inside the red zone. We cannot leave points on the board.
Now, somebody said get rid of Jefferson. It goes bad when we go to him. I say
Yeah.
this, and I'm gonna counter you with that. Jefferson's hands are iffy. I get it. However, when he gets the ball in his hands, he's another dangerous weapon. My thing is this: you got a guy coming in from a new system, and he's really learning how to be a receiver in this type of system. You go from an air raid type of system to being able to touch the ball one or two times. That's a problem. That is a serious problem. So, Charisma, I got a question for you. As we're rotating folks in, I see my guy Nando in the back. I'm gonna bring him up once he turns the camera on. But the
Mute,
question I
mute,
got for you
mute your
is
mic,
this.
William.
Yeah,
All right, I got
William.
y'all. I'm on me.
I just took William off the stage. Let me go ahead and bring Nando into this thing. So, Charisma, I got a question for you. Now, the running game that that's Turbo. Oh, I'm sorry, Turbo. You got to click on that. It's a permission link that we have so we can actually see you in the chat. So, got to shout out our guy Turbo and whatnot.
Run it back.
I gotta disagree with you on that. It ain't all on Jefferson when it comes to that. Because Jefferson, once he gets the ball in his hands, he does make positive things happen. But we can agree to disagree on that one. But I already know how you feel about that, though. We want consistency, so I definitely am with you with that. So I know exactly why you're saying that. But he was a cheap acquirer. So for you, Charisma, looking at the way that Atlanta's defense is playing, and you talk about the aggressiveness and really just being able to keep the Falcons in the game when the offense is going. What do you think is going to be key for going forward with the rest of this season?
I'll tell you what we don't do and what we need to do is, one, we need to utilize Drake London more in special plays. That boy Pitts too. They're not using him as much as, they're not using those two as dynamically as they should. Even in red zone, in the way I look at red zone, in the red zone perspective, is that when we are in red zone, in the area of the red zone, we don't have any like creative plays. Like, like I look at other plays, other teams like Buffalo, and I look at Baltimore, and I look at teams that take chances in the red zone with special plays. Like, they don't do cross routes. They don't do like quarterback reversal plays. We just do the same thing. Either we're gonna run it in, or you're gonna step back and throw it to somebody, that's open. We don't do anything that's unique. I noticed that today we utilized Drake London, and I didn't hear Pitts a lot, but we utilized Drake London today. But I feel that going forward, we need to come up with some type of special plays to offset the opponents. You know what I'm saying? They almost can read what the Falcons are doing. Like, each team almost know what we're doing every time we play. It's almost like we got our playbook wide open for them to see. They pulling the hard ball on us because it's like, oh, they gonna run, they gonna pass. The Falcons gonna run. Oh no, they gonna pass. Falcons gonna run. Oh, they gonna pass. They just know. It's like
the difference with Harbaugh is this. The difference with Harbaugh is this. Harbaugh had somebody going to everybody else's schools stealing stuff.
I was just giving a reference.
But here's the thing. If you're gonna use that analogy, big dog, you gotta come with it. Because everybody knows, everybody also understands this scheme that Arthur Smith runs. It's not complicated. I get what you're saying with that.
Yeah, we're running this old school college scheme, bro. Falcons been doing that.
But here's the thing, though.
Grown-up plays.
This is what you're missing, though. This is something that you and I talked about off the record, and I've told you this, and I'm gonna tell you again. When you don't have the personnel to run those type of plays, it's not gonna work. The type of team that we're built as is a downhill type of team, and you're not going to get creative play routes with guys that are not great route runners. You got some good route runners on this team, but this is mainly bully ball that we're playing. We're not built to be in a situation where you see the Kansas Cities and the Miamis and these teams that have exotic formations. The reason they have exotic formations is because they have receivers that are masterful route runners. And you're talking about a speed type of offense. They're not built for attrition. This team is built for attrition. If you look at the offensive linemen from our team and their teams, our team is a little bit more stout because of the fact that we run the ball. So I gotta let my guy Nando cook real quick, and we'll bring it back. So Nando, what's going on, man?
What up, fam? What up? What's good, pal?
Good with you, man.
What's happening?
Man, I just gotta say, shout out that boy Bankhead Bates, man. That's the MVP of the team right now. And also, man, they listened to me. They put Helms on the field, man. He made an impact. Like I've been stressing all week.
They did.
Me and Armani also been stressing this all week. You got to put Bam on the field. Also, I want to say too, man. Man, Ritter, man. I gave him one turnover. He gave me two. Man,
yeah. We called that Thursday, bro. We said
we did, man. We did.
Yeah,
we both said he good for one.
Yeah, he good for one. And I'm sitting back like, why did you throw that back shoulder fade? And you
Yeah.
saw, and you got a guy that's as seasoned as Tyrann Mathieu, because Tyrann Mathieu was eating that up when he was at LSU. He was eating that type
Mm-hmm.
of play for LSU. If you're gonna throw a play like that, you got to put it up a little bit higher. You just handed it
Yep.
to him.
Yeah. 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 He gave you two, but at the end of the day, for D Red, man, I just like the fact that he didn't let that just linger on and threw another one. He went back and be like, all right, let me get back focused and see what I did, and let me try to move the ball down the field, which he did. Which I don't know. That was like Kata said, that was a beautiful wheel route from Bijan, whatever it is. It was a rainbow. I tell you that. It was a
Yeah, it was a
rainbow.
wheel route. He threw that up out of desperation because Demario Davis was getting ready to knock his jockstrap loose. That's what
Yes, he
that was.
was. Yes, he was.
Demario Davis, think about it. Demario Davis had a head full of steam coming downhill. Now, Nando and I pointed this out last week. Now, we said, what is Ritter going to be like when he knows he has to stare down the barrel of a gun? Because you knew it was coming. You knew at one point of the game, you were going to have somebody that was going to be beelining him. And let's be real. They were going to hit him even after he threw it, just to get inside his head, just to mess with him. How do you respond from that? You luckily was able to hit an open Bijan Robinson, who was fast enough to get up under that rainbow. And thank God he had enough air under it, opposed to overthrowing it. Because, man, that we all held our breath. I see you
Yeah,
in the back, William. We just waiting for you to get situated, bro.
yeah,
But,
everything worked. I mean, everything worked with that player, whatnot. But like I said, I just like the fact that he didn't linger on it. He just been like, all right, it happened. Let's move on. Let's move forward.
yeah.
You can only get better. You can only get better at that as a player. And I think
Mm-hmm.
today, what the difference was with Ritter and what we seen in the previous couple of games was he looked comfortable. He didn't look stiff. He didn't look like he was like on edge trying to make that perfect pass or whatnot. He just made it. If he didn't see it, if it wasn't there, he ran. He didn't think about it. He just
Yep.
executed. And I think that's what more people from the fan base wanted him to do, man. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
see it after your third progression or whatever, you just take off, man. Get what you
Well,
Yeah.
can, and let's live another down.
shoot, with that New Orleans defense, you don't even get to your third progression. You got to know what your first and second one are and get rid of it.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right,
As much
right.
as we hate the Saints, let's call this for what it is. They definitely still could get after the quarterback. And we saw that today.
Oh yeah.
And we saw that. We just happened to make those plays to burn. Now, when are we gonna start using CP a little bit more in these grudge matches and
I don't.
feed Tyler Algier a little bit more? I know Bijan is the new toy. He had a great day, but my thing is you gotta start using the guy that broke William Andrews' record last year a lot more. Because apparently you saw how he ran the ball at the end of the game.
Oh, he gets better as the game goes on, man. He gonna keep hitting you with them body shots, and you gonna start gasping for air. I don't know what it is with the force feeding, because we've been saying why you can be John, whatever cake may be. We don't get it time and time again on this panel. If it ain't broke, why try to fix it? You already know freaking the man that I think that should be starting it is freaking Tyler Algier, because to me he sets the tone. He gonna be like, look, man, we just gonna run the ball down your throat, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I believe that right there is the perk that sets the tone for the run game. And then you Bijan and Fake or whatnot. You already see what he can do. He's elusive. He's great catching out the backfield or whatever the case may be. And you can just add in KP at the icon on the cake, man. You can't stop everybody on this offense. You can't.
And I gotta give a shout out, today. I got some family members who are from the Louisiana area. But you know what? I'm not gonna put your name out there, Auntie, because it'll be cold blooded if I did it today. Because y'all just took an L. You've been messing with me for years, and I got a platform now that I can talk and people can see. I ain't gonna put your name out there today. But just know our Southern Jaguars dropped Grambling like a bad habit yesterday. But the stinking Saints, your Saints, just got dropped like a bag of turds today. Let's keep that real.
Hey man, hey Uncle Shay Hot L can still open 24 hours, 7 days a week,
Nah,
man.
man, wait, no. Uncle
No,
Shay, Uncle Shay is no. Uncle Shay is world class. He's a little bit volute now. He doesn't eat fried chicken wings and stuff like that. Man, we opening this thing up. We calling this we gonna do it old school. We got the rib and wing shack right now. We opening up hot L's for all these jokers right now. As you can see, we got the party lounge in the back, man. You know, sponsored
Hot.
by the hot L's ribs and wings. That's how we do it.
That don't kind of half bad. I ain't gonna even hold you. That don't kind of half bad at all.
Hey man, we got a special section. We got the L section over there for them ain'ts or whatever, and they fans. So you know how they getting down.
Yeah, get some of that fried fish and gumbo.
Hey man, guess who done popped up? We got Coach Cam in the building. What's up,
Coach
Coach?
Cam, what it is, homie?
Oh,
What it up, family? What's going on?
Hey man, you smiling, man. That's a good thing.
He about had a heart attack behind. Hey man, though he about had a heart attack cussing everybody out behind backstage when things was going up and down today.
No, that Cardinal game, man.
man.
He bought home.
Cold blow the gas.
But
So
go
y'all
ahead.
like,
Go
We're
ahead,
not gonna
Cam.
talk about. We're not gonna talk about that, all right? And yes,
wait a minute. Now
and
you
yes,
know
I
I
had
need
to
to
take my heart
food.
medicine
You know
today.
I'm sick, bro.
Yes, I had to take my medicine today because my heart was beating on my chest.
Do you
Go ahead.
do you need to go to a padded room in the VA?
Oh man, not the
Nah,
padded
brother.
room, not the fifth
Nah,
floor.
nah, I'm good.
Hey, a minute, hey, that's haunting.
Hi, baby.
We making a joke about it, but it's the truth. That's a home for some of us vets, man. Shoot, it help you get right. Cause if you
Yeah.
pissed off, man, last thing you need to do is snap on somebody out in the streets.
Hey, but
Nah,
go
Mental
on,
I'm good.
no, but
get it
seriously
off
though,
your
mental
chest,
health
Cam.
is a big thing that we do push
Right.
on this show, man. Especially for those who are vets and regular folks that's out here. Get checked out. Nothing wrong with that. Get going to see somebody. It's always a good thing, man. Always get your mental health looked at. But now that we've beaten them sorry stinking ain'ts, all of our mental health is lovely. So what do you have today, Coach Cam?
It feels great.
Well, I might as well call you
Uh,
bootlegger Cam because we ain't in church today, so I call you bootlegger Cam. We got the party
nah.
lounge in the bed.
Honestly, if I'm being honest, everything looked good. Um, like I was telling you guys earlier, as much as we have,
Break it up a little bit, my guy.
Yeah, Cam, we breaking up, bro. Hey, Cam,
Yeah, he
well, he
come back.
stepped out. So
Come
I'm
back.
gonna bring this back to charisma real quick, and I'm gonna ask him this. So, with the impact of this game, with the fan base in the city and whatnot, how do you feel it's gonna get everybody through the week now? How does it impact you as a Falcons fan? And we all talk about different things, and we can talk about the things, but we want to talk about it a little bit from the fan side of it.
Yeah,
How do you really
the
get
last
in the
game.
spot?
Yeah,
Say again?
the last game I went to was the Saints game. When I went to the Dome, and that wasn't a good experience. Yeah, that they beat us that game, and it wasn't nice, cuzzo. You know what I mean? Walking on the street, we almost got into like 2 or 3 fights, man. And that was the
Dang.
It real, man. It
yeah,
real.
that was the same week they jumped on old boy inside the Dome. That Falcon.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember
And
And
that.
you
Oh
keep
yeah,
and you
last
keep
year that
hold
happened
on.
in the
Wait a
Bears.
minute, wait a minute.
I,
Now you one person that don't like violence. I'm
I,
more violent. I'm more violent than you. You have to talk to me. I'm actually one of the violent ones in the
I,
family.
I,
But
I
and I'm
held,
real chill. But
I held my,
you are one of the most
I,
peaceful dudes that
I,
I know.
I held my composure. I did. I do karate. I take
Yes,
karate, so
I do.
it helps me
That's
to.
why I'm laughing.
I did hold my composure. I didn't. I walked through the street of shame. They said what they said. I'm walking. I got Shorty with me. I'm like, let's just go. Let's just go. It was hackling me. They were talking crazy. And I said, you know, it's just, it's all good. Even with the cars, man, it was trying to not necessarily trying to run me over, but it was blocking the area. I tried to cross. It was just a lot of stuff. It was hollering all out the window. They was all on top of the cars while they was driving. It was crazy, bro. So I had
But
to.
this the problem I got with see. I'm one of the rowdy Falcon fans. See, I don't mind putting hands on the Saints fan. And I'm a rowdy SEC fan. I don't mind putting hands on. I'm letting y'all Saints fans know this now because we got some
I
on
just
watch.
think that'll be nice, Cuzzo. I think just
I got a question. I got a question for you. Do it look like I give two? Did it look like I give two dams right about now?
I
Is
you know he don't care, man. You know he don't care.
My thing is
Ryan
this:
don't
I
have no
respect people.
concerns
I
in his
respect,
eyes.
let me, I respect people's personal space. I respect it. I don't mind trash talk. With athlete at one point, don't bother me. It's when you get up on me and violate my personal space, and
and
when
that's
you
what I'm
do some of
saying,
the stuff
Cuzzo.
that
That's
you
why I don't
do,
want you to get into
Mm.
that.
that's when
I,
it's open season
I
on your ass.
and that's why I said I don't
And I'm
want you.
letting y'all Saints fans that now I got some cool Saints fans. I know they not obnoxious. You know they'll talk their trash and send their memes. Right now, one of them owe me some money right now. And that one trying to duck me, but they ain't finna duck me. After I get done with this show, I'm finna collect my funds. I
Well,
got bills to pay.
Matthew, the one that played for the Saints, Matthew, his cousin, I know personally. The female, her name is Kenosha, whatever it is. She from New Orleans.
Yeah.
Her cousin is Matthew, the one that played for New Orleans. He from here too. And she used to come at me all the time on Facebook. I still follow on Facebook. You might see on my friends list. She always went out New Orleans stuff because she's from New Orleans. But she's been kind of quiet lately. So she usually like attack me like all the time.
Oh, she gonna be quiet today.
She's gonna be
Yeah,
quiet today.
Quiet.
I'm not trying to put her on Front Street. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna put her on Front Street, but because I don't like the
You
jinx.
just gave her a name, bro. You just put her on front
I
You
street.
know.
literally
I'm
did.
saying
Breaking news.
I'm not putting her on Front Street. I'm not putting her on Front Street to say that. Okay, it's like this, right? We used to be at each other a lot. You know, like when it come to beefing with the games, right? So lately, she noticed if she says certain things like that, it might jinx the team, her team. She don't do that no more. So she kind of like just fall back from that. But you know, I can't have y'all here trying to fight Saints fans, because you know I got to get in. I can't jump out there on these folks. I mean, I got to get in, and I ain't trying to do all that.
It's cool. It's cool. I'm gonna tell you like this. I ain't worried. I got the Lord on my side, and I
Oh,
got
here we
and I
go.
got this red and black here, and I ain't worried about it, bro. I'm letting you know that now. So it is what it is, family. But I'm gonna have to rotate you up out of it. Appreciate you slapping through. Got to
Yeah,
get some other
Good
folks
to meet
through.
you, fam.
I'll
Yes,
see.
sir. Y'all check him
Yeah,
out
yeah.
with
Nice meet you, fam. Nice meet you.
charisma.
Yeah, I got a podcast too on Tuesdays. So if y'all well, he might tell y'all about it. And we got another little sportsman too, but he didn't tell y'all. You know, I'm a hockey fan, really. So I'm
Okay, that's
talking,
what's up. I
Okay.
had to check it out.
I
yeah,
need you. Here's the thing. I need you to get a name of your podcast because I'm not doing it. You self promoting on here, bro. Go ahead.
oh well, it's you talking about the one I got with Robert?
Yes. Get a
Show?
name of it, please.
Yeah, it's Overflow, the Everyday People Show with Robert Stafford, Lil Nas X's father. So we got it every Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Politics and stuff like that. Politics and you know, political perspectives and what's going on in the world, police brutality, anything that's dealing with that, or love, relationships, mental health. We have different people come through, talk about these situations. We might have a celebrity every now and then, but I hate to use that word celebrity, but a person of interest, whatever you want to call them.
A person that has garnered a wealthy paycheck. That's the
That's
best
what
way.
that's what I want to say. I don't want to say,
Above average.
don't use that word celebrity. That's what I'm going to say. But yeah, so if y'all want to check that out, yes, every Tuesday it's on Facebook, same thing, it's live stream. And yeah, go Blackhawks. And
All right, man. Thanks for coming through, cuz.
All right, Coco.
Yeah. That's one of my cousins, man. That boy out glass. But again, he ain't no peace stopping me from whooping on the Saints fans' ass. I don't give a damn what
Okay.
he said.
Hey man.
Y'all
Hey
know
man,
that,
we on positive vibe today. We won. We won. We won.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
good.
Ryan ain't got no concern in his eye about them
but you
Saints,
know
man.
what's
They
getting
ain't
ready.
no
You don't.
concern.
No
Hey, hold up.
whatsoever.
But you already know what's getting ready to happen. You know them fools gonna be trying to start fights after the game. You know how they get when they lose.
Oh,
They
Oh,
get
oh yeah.
Jick imagine when we gotta play them at they play. You already know.
Man, it's going down. It's gonna go Disney in New Orleans that last game.
Oh yeah.
Coach Cam is finally back on the camera today. So now I'm gonna say this, and I want Coach Cam to jump on this or whatnot. Hey, give us a sec. We'll get the link to you or whatnot. Coach Cam ended up jumping on, and you were talking about the safeties or whatnot, and pretty much how they were making too much tackles. Go ahead and alleviate on it. Even though we did win the game, just some things that we're gonna have to clean up next week. What you got, Cam?
Number one, our linebackers need to, when they hit someone, they need to wrap up and take them to the ground. Number two, the defensive linemen, when they touch someone, they need to wrap them up, take them to the ground. This has been an ongoing issue for like the last couple of weeks. So if we truly want to move forward, we have to tackle better, and it all starts up front. Both safeties are making way too many tackles, way too
Yeah.
many.
I mean, they've been leading in tackle for the past 2 games.
Yeah. 2 games. They've been leading in tackles.
So definitely agree with you on that. Anybody else?
I think Epic Katie had got a sack though. I'm proud of Eddie I'm saying Arnold Epic Katie, man. He on 17, he coming a long way, man. But I feel like the rest of the defensive line got to step up moving forward, man. Like he was saying, Coach Lowe was saying, Coach Lou, he was saying like our linebackers need to hit and tackle, wrap up.
I mean, that just goes down to basic fundamentals, man. They just need to go back to the art of tackling somebody fully formed
Mm-hmm.
the tackle. Stop trying to like bump somebody down or whatnot, and all they're gonna do is bounce off on you and get more yards at the contact. So that just come down to basic fundamental. But yeah, I definitely do agree with Coach Cam. Our
But
safety
I think this is something that we talked about last week, though. A lot of these kids are looking for the ESPN type hit.
top 10 play.
They're looking for the ESPN top 10 play instead of actually doing the fundamental part of wrapping up and driving through the tackle. And that's causing a lot of our tackles to be missing wide open field. Like you can see AJ today, he hit a couple people, tried to hit him low, just using his shoulder. He didn't wrap up or nothing, and they just bounced off. This is
Hey, William.
NFL. Everybody in the league is deserving of being here for one reason or another, and you're just not going to, shoulder bump a player and expect him to go down. It's not going to happen.
Right.
So
Yep, I
William,
agree.
we getting ready to rotate. We getting ready to
Okay.
rotate you out real quick. I
All right.
gotta go ahead and bring somebody new up into the building.
All
All
right.
right,
All right.
let them cook for a minute. All right.
Do you think our linebackers are? Do you think our linebacker can get better, or do you think we just need to go ahead and get ready to get more?
Well, here's the thing. I
Oh,
think our linebackers are definitely really. I think they're very aggressive. They're very good when it comes to going downhill. What we're going to have to look for when it comes into the draft or free agency, you've got to get linebackers that can cover running backs a little bit better out of the backfield. Not saying that we're not
Mm-hmm.
going to get rid of these guys, but you've got to bring in guys that can also help you on those third downs because it was a couple of times Alvin Kamara got out of there. Thank God for Jesse Bates and DeMarco Helms. But we got Bree into the building. What's going on, Bree?
What's going on,
Happy
birthday
birthday.
girl?
Hey!
Hey,
Bree.
Bree, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah, she happy. Yeah, she
Hey,
happy.
she
I know,
should. She
right?
got a good
happy
birthday
birthday,
present. The
Bree.
Falcons beat the Saints.
Y'all see me on TV?
Yeah, well, I did.
Yes.
I did. Yes, I did.
Told
Yep.
y'all gonna see it from him.
But go ahead, birthday girl. Get
Oh
it
yeah,
off
man.
your
What
chest.
you got?
We were lit now. I don't like how they tried to play us about the music, the artists, but other than that, it was straight. I bought me some more Falcon stuff, but game was good. I ain't get to see another Aints fan knock a Aints fan out, but that happened right a little before me. So that did
Oh,
happen.
wow.
Oh yeah.
I knew it was gonna happen.
One
I
hit
knew it was
wonder.
gonna happen.
I mean, he knocked him out. He laid out cold.
I knew it was gonna happen.
It's,
I
it's,
knew it was
it's
gonna
no
happen.
surprise that that's every time the Falcons play the Saints. You're
We
gonna
don't
have
like each
one that's
other.
gonna do it.
We
Never
don't like
fail.
each other. We
I
don't like
said
each other.
you didn't hear what I said. I
She
said
said
an
another
Ain't
Saint.
player knocked another Ain't player out. I didn't say Falcon. I
Wait
said
a
Ain't.
minute. Ain't
So we
violent.
were talking about fans, but yeah, we did see that one too. You're right. He did knock a damn Saints player out. his own teammate, friendly fire.
Oh,
Wow.
ain't valid. Mm, mm, mm.
So they were very quiet. This is the first game. It's probably what, the third New Orleans game I've been to, and they did not come to show out today. They normally be in great numbers. Today they were not. They were very quiet today. It was
Yeah,
all red and black today.
that Derek Carr effect.
That's because half them Aints fans. That's because half them Aints fans was at that Southern and Grambling Classic in New Orleans yesterday, getting
And they
drunk.
lost. Oh yeah,
That's
they
why.
lost too. Ooh, they lost.
Yeah, that's the funny part about it. They took an L.
Mm.
Yep, they lost
Yeah,
27-24.
my quarterback
Mm.
did good today, coming back off a bye after being benched.
You need to move forward to the next game. I
Yeah,
mean,
But
like
did he?
just got to clean up the
But
Right.
did
turnovers.
he?
Got to get
them
better with
turnovers,
decision
them
making.
Yep.
Other
turnovers,
than that,
them
I was
turnovers.
fine with how he ran the ball today. We just
Yep.
got to get better at him. You just can't just throw in the traffic the way that you're doing. You can't just fit stuff in there like that because bad things happen.
Yeah, because there was a couple of tip balls that were luckily not picks.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Bro. Couple tips that thankfully they dropped the passes.
Yup.
But that interception, what, at the 10 or the 5, oh, that hurt me because it was on my end of the field, but not on the side that I was on.
all they had to do
That
was run it.
That's
that
it.
All they had to do was run it, man.
This
I would
this
have
is
I
a
would have
killer
settled for
me.
3. I would have
As I
settled for
said, as
3.
we said earlier. Now you pretty much was in the house watching it firsthand.
first.
Now we were talking about this up front. Cordell Patterson was running with an attitude today.
Oh,
Today.
And Tyler Algier was running with attitude. Bijan did his thing today, but when you talk about a game like this, you got to have dudes that's gonna be physical because it's not a finesse game when it comes to the Falcons and Saints. Just
No.
is.
nah, they were dogs today, man. They
Oh,
they
yeah,
they
they
were the
were.
dogs that we needed.
I just wish they used Tyler like they did earlier instead of forcing Bijan the ball multiple times.
That's
That's the
Arthur
only
Smith.
thing.
I agree, Bree. They did force B John the ball pretty much.
Too
They
much.
That's because
talk
Arthur
about
don't want to look like a dummy. That's all he's worried about. He don't want to look like he made the wrong pick. I'm Bijan
Well,
is a
he
legit.
he
didn't
is
want
good.
to be like
Well,
he
he
won
is.
today. Cause I told you I was gonna start a chat today. Not today. Today went today to lose.
Uh-oh.
I told
Nah,
you already.
nah, he couldn't have lose today. He would have lost today, man. They probably would have burned their house down.
But here's
Nah,
the thing.
too
Now,
many.
now you win against the Saints this week. Now you got to come up here. He's got to come up this way. You got to go to East Rutherford, New Jersey, and you got to play a Jets team that has no identity right now. If
Man,
you lose to them, you got
you're
to go.
fired. You're
You're
getting
fired.
fired.
This should be
We
a win. This should be a win that you should get. You should be able to run the ball with no problem with that three-headed monster, and that defense should be able to keep their offense contained. Now, Brees Hall
Mhm.
gonna get what he get. Brees is just a dog,
he gonna
but
eat.
Yeah,
yeah, he gonna eat. But
yeah, yeah.
at this point, we just got to get out of there with a win. Just keep collecting wins.
We better not let this quarterback look like Joe Namath. That's all I'm saying. We better not let this quarterback look like Joe Namath. That's all I'm saying. You already know Brees Hall gonna get here. You already know Garrett gonna get here.
Mm-hmm.
You got
But
to
Mm-hmm.
echo
all of,
that, man.
yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, try to come right back in, bro. Let me see if you can try to come back in. I'm gonna bring Glenn back in.
But
So,
shout out to them Falcons. They were knocking them ain't players out on defense and offense left and right. Every time I looked, there was a man down. And they got Cam out. So that made my D.
now I got one for you. Now we already talked. When I've talked about this many a days. Being, I always talk about the defensive backs. I say DB set the tone in the defense. The safety position set the tone.
Oh yeah,
My
Jesse.
question is this:
Oh, when I tell you that,
DeMarco Hellams, the 15-yard penalty he got. Remember, I've been preaching. I said I just want one dude to come up in there. I take a 15-yard penalty to set the tone and let jokers know what it is. So Hellams ended up doing his thing today. Even though he got that 15-yard penalty, you notice they didn't really try to throw his way after that.
you mean that's when they were fighting?
Yo, no,
Oh
he
yeah.
hit Chris, he hit Chris Olave in a block and put him on his back. And that was
Oh,
when he got
that
flagged
play.
for taunting him. Yeah.
Oh, on the sideline.
You notice, yeah, when he hit Chris Olave on that right side, they were like, we're not gonna throw his way. We'll run at his side, but we're not gonna throw his way like that because he's letting
When
them know
I
what they was
when
gonna
I
do.
tell you that man was down on the sideline for a long time, there were multiple plays being ran, and he still was sitting on the ground, and the crew had like literally sitting on the ground, sitting up in the same position he got laid out. I'm
Yeah,
like,
Chris,
Mm.
dog, he ain't
Chris
get
Olave
up.
was the way that he fell. That
He
I
gonna be sore
honestly
tomorrow.
took a breath. I took a breath for that man because when
Yeah,
you're up that high and you come down that hard with another man on top of you, and
Mm-hmm.
he
Bad thing
landed on his
happen.
neck and shoulders. So
he got the wind knocked out of him. When I tell you, in the way his neck was contorted, like it looked bad.
And he had a concussion, so he's gonna be on concussion protocol coming up this week.
Yep.
So a big piece of that offense that they have is gonna be out. If you notice, number 22, I can't pronunciate the young man's name. He was coming in already banged up, and that's their speed guy. Because if you
yeah,
notice, their offense was limited once he went out because the speed that he brings to that offense generally opens up everything for a Taysom Hill and everybody else. And today I got to give Trey Flowers his I got to give Trey Flowers his flowers today. He's the only defensive player I have seen come up as a one-on-one shot and hit Taysom Hill square.
I'm so
I've
Mm-hmm.
never
glad we
seen
just
that.
shut down the Taking Hill experience. I
Yeah.
got
Yes, because
tired. I
that was
got tired of
awful.
hearing it. I got tired of hearing it. He's the kryptonite. He's the Atlanta killer. He did. He. I'm so glad we took him out of the equation.
yeah. But see, that's the thing with having a an actual defensive coordinator who knows how to make adjustments in the game. Because
Yep.
if
Right.
you look at it, Taysom was legit eating. And then we started to contain it, forcing him to come up the middle. And when he came up the middle, there was someone there to hit him every single play. So he got real timid because those hits were starting to get to him. So
Mm-hmm.
major props to Coach Nielsen and Coach Gray, because they did exactly what needed to be done to stop that run. Because if it hadn't, we could be, in a benediction line instead of a party line.
I agree.
And
I
let me let
agree.
me let me let me make y'all laugh. So my aunt that I talked about, that's a Saints fan or whatever, that's from New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? We cheer for the Southern Jaguars, but on Sundays we got two different teams. She just shot me a text message saying, "Congratulations on the win. Them Saints just played a sorry ass game." I texted back. I said, "You know what? That made my day. I love my auntie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Especially after these Falcons whooped them Saints ass. I love my
Mm.
auntie.
oh
Cause
man,
guess what?
I'm
She
talking so
got to
much
be
cash
quiet
money
right
tomorrow.
now.
I'm talking so much cash money tomorrow, man. Oh, come
Mm.
Oh,
on, man.
now here's a question I have for you. Now with the defense having a situation, you know, like with the defense having the situation that they did or whatnot today, keeping that Saints defense out of the end zone. The offense has got to get cranked up, and we've got to start sustaining drives a little bit better.
Yeah,
We have to. If
yeah.
we're trying to keep that defense fresh to be able to keep people out of the end zone, we can't have that defense on the field too long. Today we were fortunate. They finally made the adjustments. We were able to run the ball, and we were able to start sustaining drives better around the middle of the third quarter. But we got to keep those boys fresh because we got a monster defense. They just get tired.
Oh yeah. Yes.
There's no reason why our offense was only on the field for 4 minutes in the first half, and
None,
that that's
Right.
the
none.
that's the whole problem.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
30 minutes in a half, and they was on the football field for 4 minutes and 16 seconds.
Mm.
So you're
And,
telling me
and
that's 2 minutes and 8 seconds in both quarters for the offense.
yep.
Man.
And that's what
You
we
can't
and
win
that's
like
what
Mm.
we
that.
said. That's why we said that offense stalled like a raggedy 78 Chevelle with a rotted battery in it. That was how stalled it was today. Period. You try to crank it up, it's not gonna go nowhere. But again, Bankhead Bates came in with that pick six. He read it beautifully,
Got the
Oh, that
and
tone.
thing was. Oh my gosh, that thing was pretty. When I tell
but
you that one was lit, oh,
but
I
here's
can
the
he
only
thing that
imagine.
people know. But here's the thing that people know about Derek Carr. Now, folks forget that those two played in the AFC against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Carr was with the Raiders. He was with the Bengals. So he had played him quite a few times. So he already knew his tendencies. If you ever look at Derek Carr when he throws to his right, it's just something I noticed. And this is why Bates picked it off. Derek Carr slightly drop his shoulder and actually stare down the receiver before he get it to him. He always do it on the
Mm.
right. Now on the left, he'll look up. Now he'll look up the safety when he's throwing to his left because he's throwing to the opposite side of the field. He always does that. But when he's on the right, he never looks off a safety. And Bates didn't bite for it today. And Bates made him pay.
I'm
So
glad he made him pay. I'm
yep.
glad he made him pay. I'm glad.
And when you talk about tendencies or whatever, Derek Carr gonna give you one or two in the game. I'm letting you know that now. It's kind of like how now sadly Carr is an older now. I'll say this: Ritter's gonna get better if we get a
Right.
coach who can actually teach him how to be a little bit more decisive. And he was decisive today. I got to give it to him. But when you're decisive about throwing the football, you can't throw it in traffic. You can't take a chance like that.
No.
You can't because bad things happen. Bad things always happen, especially with an all-pro safety like a Tyrann Mathieu that's back there. That's like Derek Carr throwing in the middle of the field with Jesse Bates. Luckily, Matthew didn't run a pick six on this day.
Mm.
And
So
that back shoulder throw was a terrible concept anyway, because he never
mhm,
had separation. So you're throwing it directly to him when Scotty Miller was in the middle of the field, pretty much wide open, had it, and he had the linebacker sealed off. That would have been an easy first down. So like I said it during the game, Ritter's decision making was a lot more sound today, and it was a lot quicker than usual. So I think the benching helped him. But like you said, if we can get another quarterback coach in here to kind of get him to slow down during his progressions, he can be a serviceable starter in this league. He'll be a
mhm.
great game manager, especially with our running game. We don't need him to throw the ball 30 times a game. 15 to 20 is the magic number for him. But
Right.
That's
the
what he
fact
had today. 13 to
but the
21.
fact the fact that we went 3 quarters with only, what was it, 80,
80,
87 or 80,
88,
80
88
something,
yards. 88
88
yards.
yards. Like, that's not going to win you a whole bunch of football games.
No.
Nope.
But
So,
at the end of the day, even though he threw for 88 yards, you also got to equate for the fact that he used his legs on some of those passing plays too to get out of
exactly.
trouble.
No, that's what I'm saying. His decision making was way faster.
Better.
When he saw it was no one there, he took off.
He took
So it
off.
was
He,
it was very smart. But when
and
he has the opportunity to throw, he has to be accurate and he has to be sound in where he's throwing the ball. You can't throw it into double coverage where Drake saved him on one play, and then the other one got picked off, and then he threw the other one, got dropped by the other safety. So I mean, once he gets to that point, uh, I mean, Ritter, he can be that guy. He just has to be smarter when he's throwing the ball. He has
Yep.
to be way more accurate.
I
But
agree
that
with you
comes.
on that. And I
But
I,
said putting
I
him
agree, coach. I agree.
and then a while ago he jumped on me about it because you remember when I said we needed to bench him. You was like, nah, we need to go ahead and get a new quarterback. Cut him. Remember you said that to me, and I said, no, put him
Mm-hmm.
on the bench and let him get refocused. Because I said,
Mm-hmm.
if you take a man's paycheck away from him, and he got a car seat in the back of his car, and he got a house mortgage, trust me, he will refocus. He will refocus because you got to pay the bills. And this is his way of paying bills is using his legs and his arm. Now, I'm not opposed to bringing in another quarterback to have some competition to keep him where his game is still here because competition breeds competition. You're going to always be on top of your game when you have someone that challenges you. And I believe we need to bring that in to bring the best out of Desmond Ritter. That's just my
Absolutely.
opinion. Because
Right.
if you're gonna down this hill with Desmond Ritter and you're coming back next year, you need to draft another quarterback to be behind him because Taylor Heineke isn't gonna be that guy to do it. And Logan Woodside is just a guy that's just a camp body. You got to
Right.
bring somebody in here just in case, and God forbid, I'm knocking on wood, anything happens to Ritter, you got to have somebody in here that could also play if he was to go down. Because I don't know if you saw it, they were starting to take shots on him at the end of the game when he ran.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know Bree. You saw that when with that boy Pierre Paul, just he didn't just sack him, he sacked him and he flopped on him on top of that, which should have been called.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they were dirty. That call, that even that play on CP when it was 3 or 4 of them and lay him on his back. They said boo.
Right,
I was like, oh man. And CP was wondering why he didn't get caught because they held him by his face mask too and threw him down. They were playing dirty now. That
But
right, right.
they
I
always
thought
play,
there
but
was
they've
4 of
always played dirty. Even back in the days, they've always played dirty. So
well,
now
I like the refs play a fair game. It was a scrappy game, both
mhm,
sides. It wasn't no calls that should have not been called, or vice versa. We played ball on both sides, so I like that we got to enjoy a actual football game. So yeah,
mhm.
it was good.
We were just saying it was just for officiating because that one deep pass Taysom Hill caught, he pushed the hell off of the darn
Oh man, that
off
was
of the
Oh
horrible.
DB.
man,
Yeah,
We
that was
we all were in the chat like, what the hell? Like, y'all really not gonna call this? This
Facts.
man literally pushed off. He had no separation until he shoved off. And Daryl Moose Johnston, who's an offensive guy, you know what I mean, former Cowboy Super Bowl, legend. He was like, oh well, they're just letting them hand fight. It was hand fight on both sides. How you gonna say it's a
it
hand
was
fight
kind of
on
funny.
both sides when the DB's back is turned and he gets shoved?
I
That
thought
is
that
not.
mm-hmm.
That's
I,
not a hand fight. If my back is turned and you shove,
I thought that was the
right?
AKK officiating crew from
Last
Georgia
night,
Tech
yeah,
game.
that was bad. But another guy that I think you should be on the lookout for. I don't see us tanking and trading up to get him, but it's gonna be a quarterback heavy draft this year,
Yeah,
and I think Ritter needs to understand that. Yeah, you're here, you're the man right now, but just know that if you don't play well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe Terry gonna slam his fist on the desk and say, "Hey man, we need to have somebody in to help us win because my job is on the line now, and I inherited Arthur Smith. I didn't choose him. I inherited
Mm-hmm.
Arthur Smith, so my job is on the line now.
right.
And I really believe that you'll see. It's like this survival of the fittest. How do they say it? Self preservation is number one, and Terry would probably pull the trigger to do something like that. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
But let's be honest though. In the history of Atlanta, when has any of our starting quarterbacks had a legitimate backup that could challenge them for the starting role?
it never have. Not
The
really.
last time,
We never had it, coach.
nope. And the last time you actually had a competent backup was when you had Matt Schaub stealing checks.
Yeah, Matt
The,
Shaw. That's
the
it.
talk about
Because if you
you
go
talk
back to
about the Hall of
Nando, if
Famer.
you go back to Nando's days of being an old school young Falcon, Steve Barkowski only had Dave Archer, and Dave Archer
That's it.
really wasn't the greatest Falcon. He
No,
talked a lot of trash on the radio like he was the greatest thing smoking, but we all know what you were about when you played for the Falcons.
Right.
Just wasn't good. But all I'm saying is, I believe competition breeds competition. And the way that you got to look at this draft, you got to bring in a quarterback just to bring some
You have
competition to
to.
the table. And you've
You have
got to get better offensive linemen also to help out with the pass protection. It was solid today. I give it to them. It
Mm-hmm.
was solid. But you still got to bring in more guys for that depth on that offensive line. And we've got to bring in more defensive linemen as well because we were getting gashed a little too much in the
to.
middle of the field.
oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, I go.
Kamara was eating.
And
Oh, oh yeah.
the one thing that I will commend the offensive line about today, our center actually played a really good game.
Yeah,
Every one of his snaps was on point, directly down the middle, which didn't throw the timing off of a lot of the plays, especially with the outside zone that we run so much. If the ball is slightly off, it messes up the blocking scheme. So he did his job today, which was a vast improvement. But we have to do something about McGarry. It is just something about that
the
man.
the
Just
turnstile of the offense.
he, I mean, dude. Every time I look up, bro, he either on the ground reaching out for somebody, or he just getting blown past. Like what's his Storm back in there? I mean, we have to do something. We have to
And
get the line to function way better than what it has. I mean, it
I
held up today, but
it,
if it's a playoff game, that's not going to win us games, bro. Especially
if
when
we
they
go
teeing off like that.
if we go against a 49ers team with that type of talent, we're gonna get demolished.
Man,
We're gonna get
I feel
demolished,
sorry
bro.
for Dez. I feel sorry for him.
I'm gonna ask y'all a question. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Now, Jake Matthews, Jake Matthews got that fault that pretty much killed the momentum of that last
He
drive when he was
did.
rolling.
That pissed me
Me
off.
that holding, yeah.
Yes.
No, did y'all have flashbacks of the Super Bowl when he killed our drive when we had momentum going?
Man,
Yep.
stop
yep.
bringing it up. Stop bringing it
No,
up,
I'm
man.
not because guess what? Arthur Smith did what Arthur Smith did what Dan Quinn should have done: run the ball 3 times and kick it. Arthur Smith said, "Bump it. We gonna let the deep. We gonna make it a 9 point game where it really has to be a 2 possession game, and they're not gonna have enough time." And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying, the
What?
same crap happened in the Super Bowl when we were moving the ball. Matthews had a
Mm.
false start the same way, and he kills momentum. Like
Well,
this is
what
go ahead.
made me nervous too when they called that timeout. And I'm like, why did y'all call the timeout? We were hot. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that
We
was
got lucky.
before Bijan scored that touchdown, that last
We
touchdown. That made me nervous. I was like, why would y'all do that? It wasn't the right time because they were killing the defense.
Bree, we got lucky because I know you saw this in the stands. We had another false start on that drive. I don't know if you saw that.
Yep, we
We
did.
had another false start on that drive, and guess who it was on? Matthews.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Matthew.
Good old
Arthur Smith
Jake.
happened to call that timeout, and the ref didn't see Matthews jump, thank God.
Mm.
Because I believe if they wouldn't have called a timeout and we'd have hit a big play, they'd have called a false start.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It would have happened.
It'd have been a late flag. They'd have called a false start. Now we got my guy Prince Shaka in here. He keeps talking about Jaden Daniels. Here's the thing. Daniels is a
He
baller. We know that Daniels is a baller at
he ain't
LSU.
falling there.
Top
But he
five.
ain't falling that far. And if we
Top
continue,
five.
if we win the
So
division and go to the playoffs, we not getting that type of pick.
No.
you ain't gonna get him if we make the playoff. We ain't
If we
gonna
get
get
the
him.
if we
Top
get the
five.
playoff,
He's
if
a
we get
top
the
five
playoff,
pick.
we probably gonna get like the 18th or the 19th pick, man.
Now I'm gonna give you a guy. Now I don't think he's gonna fall, but I think he could fall. But that kid Riley at Duke, that quarterback that's at Duke, he is a monster. He is a killer, and that is a guy that was trained properly under that David Cutcliffe tree. If you look at any quarterbacks that have trained, and David Cutcliffe is the commissioner of the SEC now, but his protege is the head coach there at Duke now. And Duke was a problem this year. They literally gave people fits this year, and that quarterback alone carried that team. They got good players over there, don't get it twisted, but he carried that team. So if you can't get a Jaden Daniels, that's a kid that you got to look at because he's a dual threat quarterback. He can run. He's pinpoint accurate when he throws the deep pass as well, and he throws intermediate routes well. And it's just let's put it this way: He's got I think a 73% completion percentage, and that percentage doesn't change much when you go to the NFL.
Nope.
That's something that either gets better or it gets worse.
Definitely agree with you.
Yeah,
So
Well,
definitely.
if we're gonna bring somebody in, let's get them later in the rounds, as you were saying, because you're not gonna get a Jaden Daniels or a Michael Penix or even a the quarterbacks are gonna be right off the board.
and before we even get all that, let's get a quarterback coach, please. Dick off
Oh,
people,
yeah, we
please.
got to start. We got
That
to start
and
the
an OC.
developmental program.
But
You right,
That and
man.
an
here's the
OC.
question though: when are they gonna let Terry Fontenot get out there and actually pick a guy that's a quarterback coach? That's
Good
my
Uh,
question.
question.
Good question.
uh, that man hands tied, y'all. That man
Yeah,
hands tied up.
he
He's
already holding
tired.
them.
And that's the thing that upsets me. Arthur Smith had nothing to do with the defense. If you look at it, Terry Fontenot brought in great pieces to help build that defense, and they're working with him to put the defense together. You see this. Now we
Yep.
got
Woo!
stopgap. Now we got stopgap guys right now, but we also know look at a DeMarco Hellams. That comes from scouting. We don't have very good scouting in the scouting department. I'm gonna continue to say that.
We
When
never
you pass,
did.
there's a kid out of Grambling State. He wears number 9. He's a local kid out of North Clayton High School. Right out of North Clayton High School. He's a senior this year. 240. The young man's name is Sandidia Anderson. That is his name, Sadidian Anderson. So if any of y'all folks from the College Park area know who that cat is or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot, his name's Sadidian Anderson. He came out of North Clayton, but he's from College Park,
Mm-hmm.
from the College Park area. And 6'5", 240 defensive line, explosive. And we're gonna post a video of him on in the chat or whatnot. Not this chat, but Dirty Birds Lair and Falcons Nest, so you can see he's a senior this year. This is a guy. Now I'm a Southern University guy. I can't stand anything about Grambling. Never will, just like I can't stand Florida. But this kid, when you talk about a pass rusher, you can literally get him as an undrafted free agent, like Dallas got
Marquise
like
Bell.
Dallas got Mr. Bell. I've been telling
Yeah.
people about Bell since he
That
came
that
out
was
of
the steal of
FAMU.
the draft, I think, Brian. That was the steal of the draft, I think.
But here's the thing: everybody talk about Richie Grant, and I told everybody, I said Bell is going to be. I said Bell is going to be a monster at safety, and I said only reason people look at him, they look at him like that is because he came out of FAMU, and then he was at UCF first, and it was politics that kept him on the bench. Richie Grant was in, and I dropped the dime on it because I found out why. Because my old coach's fam alum and a former football player, and talked to the young man when he was there. He said it was politics, and the reason why it was Grant was really in tight with one of the major boosters at UCF. So they were not going to
Mm,
go against that. So a lot of folks don't believe. They're like, oh, well, he didn't beat this guy out. It's a lot of politics when it comes to that money getting donated to these schools.
mm,
So
mm, mm,
if
mm.
Bell, and think about this, Bell is showing that he should have been drafted instead of an undrafted free agent. You see how Dan Quinn is using him, right?
Oh yeah.
One of the best safeties to get undrafted. Now he's playing outside linebacker, and I think he's giving up.
Exactly.
And I think he's giving up 6 catches the whole season on his side of the field.
Now, just imagine if you had that on this defense with those two linebackers that we have right now, and you got a DeMarco Helms.
Mm. Yeah, I think
That's
it'd be
what
pretty nasty, man. It'd be pretty nasty, man.
and
Like
and,
I
and
said,
this is
I think Bell is the steal of last year's draft.
yep. And here's the thing: a lot of people laughed at me when I say he was better than that kid that came out of Notre Dame that's playing for Baltimore.
Oh, Hamilton.
Oh, you talking
Yep,
about him? Yeah.
he's better than Hamilton. I said that. I've gotten laughed at, but now it's like, okay, jokes on you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, when I say I study these kids coming through the system, I study them. It's just like us with these Falcons, how we break them down. Here's the thing: you have to get personnel that fits your scheme on your defense. He can fit a multiple type of set and type of defense. He would be a player that New Orleans would have took if they had a chance to get him.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Cause they
And that
can,
was my biggest fear because they were saying that New Orleans, they said Dallas could possibly cut him, but New Orleans was looking at him. And Dan Quinn had to change of heart and kept him at Dallas, and you see what happened. And the only reason Dan Quinn kept him is because Keanu Neal got cut.
yep.
That was
Yep.
gonna matter. That was gonna matter of time though.
So it's just funny that our scouting department can't get nothing right. They get something. They hit on. They might have one or two good picks, but they don't hit on anything right when it comes to the lower round picks, where you're going to get the guys that are going to give you everything that comes with this team.
But you know what that is though? That's mostly Rich McKay's doing. Because Rich McKay is the guy who he wants certain players from certain schools.
Yeah, from certain conferences.
Right.
So that's all Rich McKay. He doesn't even let the scout team do what they're really supposed to do. So until we get Rich McKay up off the
Out the
get
paint.
him up off the paint, it's going to be a continuance of what we've been seeing.
I don't care where they come. I don't care where they come from. The fact is, if a young man can play, you bring him in and you let him play. Period.
Right.
Doesn't matter where he come from.
I just
And it's a shame. And I'm gonna say it like this: you don't really do good scouting work because you just go get guys that look beautiful to y'all on film, but you don't really study what their strengths and weaknesses are to bring in to help strengthen your team and your philosophy. And then the other thing that they neglect to do is, again, you won't draft out of your own backyard with Georgia. So
tell you
guess
in real
what?
Man.
life.
You need to start in different places. You want to bring kids, and the philosophy that y'all have is y'all want to bring guys that are from the state of Georgia home that might have played at other schools. Guess what? start scouting these smaller schools that are around the state of Georgia as well. If you don't want to draft out of Georgia, because there's a ton of boys that come out of South Georgia or even South Louisiana and a few other places. But I just I love the fact that we won, but I would love to see a little bit more consistency when it comes to bringing in good players that can help us and build some depth because we've been struggling without depth.
Well, that won't happen until Rich McKay either resign or get moved out the paint. Because, like he said, he only like in a certain area. He like picking school. I mean, picking players out of Idaho State. He like picking schools out of freaking Wyoming. He like picking schools out of there. But when it comes to like Georgia, maybe Alabama, Mississippi, all the other places, he just overlooked them places all completely. And not to mention, he's not going to look at the Division 2 or Division 3. Let's just
And if
keep
they
that.
look at Division 2 and 3, it's going to be either from, like you said, Idaho and the Midwest and Montana and those places, but they're not going to look at, and they're always going to stay looking at West Coast guys and talent. Now, I want to ask Bree this question real quick. So I'm gonna
You
ask her
gotta
this question.
just speak up so I can hear you too.
So I'm gonna go ahead and ask this question. We're gonna let you wrap this one up for us because we've gone for about almost an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Um, so Bree, so when it comes to this win and the momentum that we've gained from this win, and do you think that this will help propel the Falcons for the rest of the season and put them in a position to where they're going to start trying to bring in more players that can help them get the consistency with our rotation and helping us in games? Or do you feel like it's just going to be just for the rest of the season? We might carry this momentum and it doesn't carry into the offseason as well.
It ain't gonna carry to the off season.
Damn.
You already seen what happened 2 games before that when
Mm-hmm.
your coach should have got fired. So they ain't gonna be making moves to the off season. I don't see them. I think they're gonna play it out.
Mm.
That showed me enough. Especially the second game when we played a quarterback that ain't played for a whole 365 days and had a
Mm.
field day with us back to back and what a third string quarterback, the little scientist. Yeah, no, I don't see it.
She called him a scientist.
Well, he is.
I mean,
Scientist. He
he can
Well,
rock.
he is
He can rock.
well, he
He can
is an
rock.
aerospace
I'm
engineer, so she's right. He is a scientist.
Yeah, he's a scientist.
And but you know what? I think he figured out that he's gonna be a journeyman for his career, collect his paychecks, which ain't a problem for him. And at the end of the day, that man gonna probably end up working for NASA or even the federal government from the education that he received because most don't realize he was a 4.0 student all through college.
Yep.
Yep.
University of Tennessee. Yeah, he was.
And,
Yep.
and, and he's an Atlanta kid that that got out of the state.
Mm-hmm.
I told you, football is to me more mental than it is physical.
Absolutely. Everyone knows
That's why
that.
that man put his brains in there. Why he the scientist went against us.
He
Eighty-five
barely.
Because
percent,
He didn't even know the playbook.
exactly,
85,
that's what made it bad. You come on a Tuesday and then play on a Sunday and beat us like that.
80% mental and 20% physical.
Physical.
Mm-hmm.
Little child.
Unacceptable. It was unacceptable.
Yeah, but I was
But you
embarrassed,
know
man. I
what?
ain't gonna lie.
But what was acceptable was today getting this win over these stinking Aints and going
Yes,
3-0
sir.
in the division. That was
I,
acceptable.
I get to
You know
talk so
what?
much cash
You
money
know what?
tomorrow.
I thought we were gonna be lit after that game. Who that said they gonna beat the Falcon type of thing? Chopper style, everything. We ain't do none of that. We ain't
Are you
really do
serious?
ATL. We ain't really do ATL hole like that. No, not after the
Mm.
game. No.
Wait a
Okay.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
We getting
So if
sauce.
You
we
heard
celebrate
what
the
I said. We didn't celebrate after the game like we should have. Like New Orleans
man,
has celebrated when we lost to them. They'll be playing chopper style throughout the stadium. They'll be playing chopper style outside by the Falcon statue. Everything. We ain't do none of that today.
Sauce.
Mm.
Getting
please,
sauce.
see? And this is one of the reasons why we will forever be a laughing stock because the team just gave you a win and you can't even support and be happy about their win. And that
Yeah,
right there, that show,
what?
the fan base just wasn't. That's crazy that the fan base wasn't happy. This is an arch
Yeah, we
rival.
were. Yeah, I think it was a lot more people that came out to see the artists that didn't perform, and they got bamboozled with that because apparently they said to be in your seats by 12:30, which everybody was, but where it was that a lot of these artists in Atlanta performed outside. So before the game, we thinking, at 12:30, that's when they gonna have a pregame little thing. No, they ain't do it. All the artists came out and was in the center of the field to, when the boys came out, but that was it. And then you had like, Jeezy, T.I., Ludacris, Quavo perform, but
Mm-hmm.
that was and Big Boy. That was all that. Oh, Bone Crusher performed. He had us lit. And then Pastor Troy, he had us lit too. They did like when y'all had the commercials. So they
Yeah.
just did little things, but I felt as if y'all bringing these artists out, they should have did a lot more than that we're doing. Just like for instance, last year when we played them Aints, the first game of the season, the first game last year when Jameson was the quarterback, the little Falcons nest is the section that sits in a certain area of the stadium. When I say they taunt them, they had twirl on them haters, a big banner thing, which they had today, and they had all those fans in that section. They had the Falcon umbrellas, like New Orleans, and they were twirling the umbrellas, taunting them. They did not do none of that today.
Golf.
I ran into a fan, because they gave me an umbrella from last year, and I asked, I said, why y'all didn't bring the umbrellas out today? They was like, oh yeah, we talked about it, and they said that we weren't gonna do it this year because it was a New Orleans thing. I said, but that's the point. They're here at our house. We
Mm-hmm.
disrespect them. I said because they disrespect us when we go to New Orleans. So why we got to play soft? You already seen what I did. You already seen my sign. I didn't put an S on it. I never will. I don't care. You at my house. I'm not gonna show you no respect. But
Thank
we
you.
Falcon fans, I don't know what
Golf.
it is. Very
Golf.
soft.
What did I say?
Very
Charmin
soft.
I got a question.
in the
What did
middle
I
of a
say?
lake.
Wait a minute, Gray Beard. Please back me. Now I'm laughing because what have I been saying for the longest on this show about the fan base?
Golf.
Matter of fact, Nando was on here when I said it. What did I say, Nando?
Golf.
Oh, talk about yeah. I mean, the morale gone. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really real. And I mean, Bree, everything you're alluding to, it's showing. It's the physical part of it's showing. They was in our house, and then you had a chance to taunt them, and we won, and we
And
didn't just didn't
he let
physically
him
do
off the
nothing.
hook.
No, and I
Yeah,
They
tell
couldn't
you,
have,
the whole city. This is the first time ever seen so many Falcon fans compared to a New Orleans fan, because it's normally vice versa. But we
Mm-hmm.
brought the city out today and didn't even represent after the game. I'm like, bro.
We
But
got that's
we
because
all
we
know
got
why that
bougie
all
fans.
know why
But
that is.
I feel
what
as if it's the reason why, because we get in there so high and get hype that we in first place, but then we find a way to not make the playoffs. So it's kind of like a false hope. Like, I guess that's what the fan base's mentality is. Let me not get too excited because I know weeks down the line when it really matters for us to seal the deal to make the playoffs, it's not going to happen. So let me just be chill, riding out the rest of the season type of thing because they show me that we might not make it. I guess that's what their mentality is.
it had to be.
Well,
I
here's
It
agree.
the
has to be. Cause think about it.
here's the other thing I'm gonna put out here. I'll say this, and I've said straight up, it's not the weather because New Orleans fans they come in when we lose to them. They stomping all in the concourse. They making all kinds of noise. They stay out for at least 30, 45 minutes after the game, throwing stuff, talking trash. The problem is when we took the Falcons fan base from outside of that Fulton County Stadium, and I'm gonna say it to the day that I die. When you took the fan base and put them inside the Georgia Dome, and it became a fashion show more so than a football game. This is what happens when you get upper echelon fans or whatnot in the stands. Because back in the day, let us beat New Orleans, and I was a kid when the doggone when Fulton County Stadium was lit. I remember
Uh-huh.
smelling liquor in the stands. People used to sneak liquor in the stands when I was just out of six. And I'm talking about we beat New Orleans. I just remember how we used to give it to them back in the day. That's and and they used to wear bags over their heads to hide their identity because they was
Mm-hmm.
embarrassed. We used to
Mm-hmm.
give them hell. But as soon as we got to that Georgia Dome, got from being outside and rowdy, man, please, we've let people get comfortable. We've let people get comfortable. I can
Mm-hmm.
respect. I'm gonna give you this, and we got the roll. I can respect Detroit's fan base and Cleveland's fan base because they've been bad for a long time. But guess what? They still make it really hostile for visiting teams to come in there, win, lose, or draw. At Cleveland, they still throwing dog biscuits at people.
He ain't lying though.
It's the truth. If you ever go back and look at NFL films and you look at the Brown seasons when they were winning back in the day, and you look at even the years that they've been struggling, they've been bad. Fans are still pelting dog bones from the stands down on the field. You look at Detroit fans, they rowdy in every sport that they have. Period. We don't
Philly
have
too.
that. We don't
Philly
have
too.
that.
Philly
Yeah,
too.
no
Philly,
unity. There's
I
no
ain't even,
unity
look,
in
we
the
ain't even gonna
ATL.
talk
No
about Philly.
unity.
I live up here, so I already know. They'll fight you in the parking lot if y'all win. That's how
Facts.
Philly
Man.
fans get down. So until we break the traditional mode of being, oh yeah, they all won, yeah. Until we break that, and when we start getting live, we're like, yeah, hey, Sean, we took their ass out. When we start getting like that again and making it hostile, that's the only way that people are gonna respect our fan base and our team. Period.
I, th- I think it's gonna take us to make the playoffs for that to happen. Cause we ain't
I
made
don't
the
even think they're
playoffs
gonna
since
respect
after
us
the
in the
Super Bowl.
playoffs, Bree. I
I
I
believe they
think
think
we
we're
think
gonna get
are.
an early round exit,
I
and
think
if
it's
we
more
can,
so getting rid of the coach. I think it's
yeah,
more so we get rid of the coach.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
gonna
that's
be the
when the
coach.
coaches come back. I think that's when the culture will come back to
Oh
how
yeah.
it was back at Fulton County. Because if you look at it, the last couple of weeks, the fan base has been literally saying, fire this man," and the organization saying, "No, we're gonna keep this man till 2025." Like,
it-
as a fan base, I'm not about to root for my squad knowing that the coach we have is terrible. He can't call plays, and now I got to be happy about that. Nah, I don't want this man in my city. Get him out of
No,
here.
I told you I had y'all back. I was gonna start the riot today if we. I promise you, I was right there too.
you
Second
know I
row,
got a,
right there at the tunnel. It was gonna happen. I was gonna start it. I
you
told y'all.
know I got a poster already ready to go for that, right? I got two. I
So,
had two posters ready to go for that.
so
I
part of
had
me was gonna make the other side of my sign fire Arthur Smith. I sure was.
hey,
Mm-mm.
all I'm gonna say is this here: him winning against New Orleans probably gave him another 2 weeks of grace with the fans.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's all he about got is 2 weeks of grace.
about it.
That's it. You lose. I'm gonna say this here: if you lose to the Jets, bruh, the city finna be on your neck.
You
Pack
may,
your bags, buddy. Pack them
but
ASAP.
we better not let this man look like Joe Namath. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Most
I got
definitely.
I got one question before y'all get off because
What's up?
defense has held us to the point of why our record is the way it is. In a situation, had we not had the defensive coordinator uh, retire, what do you all think the record would be?
No comment.
Ooh.
No,
No.
Oh, and
no,
10.
No,
this is a
I'm
good
gonna comment on it.
question.
No, I'm gonna comment on it because
Yeah, I'm gonna
we're
comment
five
too.
we're 5-6. We're 5-6 right now. I tell you the truth,
Oh, and 11.
we might be 1-10 right now.
I was
Oh, and
gonna say the
11.
same thing. I was gonna say that a
I
two
mean,
and
no,
nine.
no,
Yeah,
no. I think we'd have squeezed out the game with the Packers. But everything else,
right.
man, we'd be 1-10 right now if we had the old man Dean Pease in the building.
We would have beat Carolina. We would have beat the Packers. I think 2 and 9.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
I
even
don't
know
even
if we'd
think
beat
we
the
would have beat
Panthers.
Carolina.
Thank
yeah. I
you. I
think we
don't
would
even
have
know if
lost
we'd
to
have beat the
Carolina.
Panthers.
Jeez, we'd
Only,
have
only
lost.
game I would have gave them was the Packers game. I think that's the best game about they
Yeah.
played this season, beside the Houston game. That's the second best
hmm
game we played.
And I'll be honest with you, CJ Stroud would have diced Dean Pease defense up.
He would have
And,
500 yards, man.
He would
and
have
just
did the
think about it.
Tampa.
CJ Stroud slicing up everybody right now.
He would have did the
Okay,
Tampa.
so I got another question. In the situation, if we would have kept our defensive coordinator, if he didn't retire, Cause I think he did that because he knew he was gonna get fired. He
I
just
think
went
that
ahead
he
and
had a
did all
health
he
problem
could.
too.
That too, with that getting knocked out. Do you think, in the sense of that, if our record would be what it was, do you think that would have been the point that the franchise would have fired Arthur Smith or what mid-season?
I
No.
believe they would. I'm gonna tell you just what it would have been. They'd have fired Arthur Smith. They'd have fired Dean Pease right there on the spot. We'd have had interim coaches, and at the end of the season, Terry Fontenot would have been the next to go. I'm
Yep.
telling you how they would have. I'm telling you how they would have did it. And the sad part about it is, to me, I feel like Terry shouldn't be catching no heat right now from nobody.
None.
Mm-mm.
None.
He gave you a
Not
top
until the
10
next
defense.
regime, I think.
Nope. I feel like when we get rid of Arthur Smith and Terry still here, that's when that clock starts for him.
Yeah.
Right.
He didn't hire Arthur Smith because I've already said this here. I can't even be mad. Terry's done a wonderful job. But
Right.
if here's my thing, this is what you do. If you're getting ready to, you need to relieve Rich McKay of his duties. This is just my opinion.
Immediately.
Immediately, let him know. Like, listen, you can keep running Atlanta United, but as for the Atlanta Falcons, you're going to be relieved of your duties. And then what
Right.
I'm gonna do, I'm gonna promote Terry Fontenot to that GM spot. I'm gonna promote him. I'm gonna go get Lewis Reddick, and I'm gonna bring him in as my GM.
Right. There you go.
Lewis Reddick was a guy that I wanted from the jump. Because think about it. Let Terry handle the financial matters. He does that very well, very well. If you bring in two intelligent brains like that, let Terry handle the financial side. Lewis Riddick not only understands the business, he understands the side of the game because he was a starting safety in the NFL. He
There
did
you
play in
go.
the league for over 7, 8 years, and he's also been in the booth, so he understands how to scout talent, which he does well because he calls
Hmm.
college games. So he gets to see these young men when he calls those games, and then where he can bring in people. And he's got connections to a lot of colleges.
A lot.
So
That's the
that
guy
would
I
be
Mm.
my
wanted from jump.
so Bree, that would be my answer for that regime, pretty much for if we do go forward and get rid of, and if we go ahead and start making moves from the top to the bottom. And if I'm Terry, I move up. I let Lewis Riddick say, "Hey man, you get your own coach. Go ahead and get rid of Arthur Smith."
There you go.
That's how I would do it.
Okay. Thank you.
So
Y'all,
so just
y'all,
keep so if you're gonna start a protest, I need you to keep that in mind. I'm gonna fire Rich McKay, promote Terry Fontenot, and bring in Lewis Reddick as the GM. That should be the next battle cry. Because
That'd
Arthur
be
Smith
Hmm.
ain't going nowhere. All right, let's go ahead and start going for the top. Let's go for that top. Because that's where the
Hmm.
problem lies.
I agree.
How do you think Detroit got Matt Millen up out of office?
Hmm.
oh good
Ooh.
Hmm.
good one. That
Ooh.
was a good one. Good one. I forgot about that.
And
Perfect
respect
example.
And respect to Matt Millen because he was a hell of an NFL linebacker when he played. Won a couple of
Hmm.
Super Bowls, and as a GM, he just didn't do well. And he even said it himself. He said, "I did this for. I want me gone too."
Woody Johnson will be the next one gone.
Yes, sir. Well, we're not gonna keep this thing rolling. We're gonna see you guys on Thursday. Y'all check us out on the Birdcage. We're gonna break down same time, 8 o'clock Thursday this week. We only did it Wednesday last week because of Thanksgiving holidays. But you guys check us out Thursday this week, 8 p.m. as we break down the birds versus the planes. I don't even call them just the planes. They're not moving like a jet, so those are the planes. So definitely want to appreciate it. I definitely appreciate everybody for coming through, rotating through the party lounge today. We definitely look forward to having more progression with this Falcons team. Hopefully the offense can get it together for next week and we collect another dub so we can sit in this luxurious lounge we have called the party lounge. So thank
Yeah,
y'all for coming
it's been a
on.
long time coming.
And happy birthday again, Sagittarius. I'm on the 11th, so I'm coming up right behind you. Happy
thank
birthday.
you. Yeah,
Happy
you guys
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Bree.
celebrate
Adrian.
all this month and all next month. Join Capricorn season 2. That's how we
There
do it.
you go.
Oh Lord.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Join, hey, slide with them counts, baby. You know what's happening. But anyways, man, thank y'all for coming through. Definitely a great win. I'm gonna see y'all this week coming up, so y'all be easy. And if you got a loved one, tell them you love them. If you got a loved one in your family that's a Saints fan like me, it's time to play the
Ain't
Pipers.
fan. Ain't.
Hold
Ain't.
the, have the,
I call them
man.
bag now. I'm gonna do one better for you. If you got a baghead fan in your family that ain't wrapped too tight, go ahead and call them out. Y'all be easy, man. This is your boy, the historian, man. We out, baby.
All right,
Peace.
peace,
Who
y'all.
that? Who that? Who that? Rise up.
We that. We
We
that.
We
that.
there.
We that.
Peace.